happen. Oh, here's Annie. Hi, Annie Guglia. How are you?
Hi. Good yourself?
Oh, we're great. You look like are you at home? That's like a cool tufted leather couch you're sitting on.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm at home.
It's very,
And
very
I
cool.
I literally just bought like a really nice light for all the interviews because I was getting a lot of like interviews and it was always so dark. So I just
Yes.
got that and it works really well, I think.
Yeah, I think you look wonderful, actually. You're lit beautifully. And here's my question for you. What kind of light did you get? Did you get a ring light, Annie? Like that looks like a ring?
No, I got well, I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh,
I
here we go.
got this.
Oh, it looks good. What do you think, Christoph?
Looks pro. I like it.
Yeah, it's like that's a better light than I have, Annie. That's a
Ah,
So, Annie, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We sincerely appreciate it. And
okay.
secondly, you're a professional skateboarder, and you're representing Canada at the Olympics in Tokyo, hopefully in 2021. We'll get to that in a second. But the big thing that happened today for the Canadian Olympic team is, and you're wearing it, is it's the Canadian Olympic collection for Tokyo. And you've got the part that I wanted to talk to you about the most. The jean jacket is the coolest thing ever.
It's
Finally, we're
cool.
embracing the Canadian tuxedo. I love it.
Exactly. Exactly. When I saw it like in picture, I wasn't sure, but like when I got it, it's Levi's and it actually fits really good. It's nice. I like
So
it.
we should mention that. So it's HBC, of course, doing all the Olympic uniforms, but they have paired with Levi's. And if you're going to pair with a denim company, if you're going to work with a denim company, there's no more iconic company than San Francisco-based Levi Strauss, right? You got to go with them. They
Right.
know denim. Beautiful jacket. And then Annie, can you show us the back? Because that is the coolest part.
Absolutely. Yeah. It says
It's like,
Tokyo. I don't know. Can you
yeah,
see?
Wow.
so
It's like
great. We
all
can see it
graffiti.
beautifully. Yeah, it's like so I guess Annie was sort of like Tokyo street art inspired, right? Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it feels really like a good mix between like Canada and Japan, like Tokyo especially. I mean, not Japan, but Tokyo.
Yeah, yeah, that cool because you think of Tokyo as like the coolest city in the world. So we have to show up wearing something pretty rad, right? Like we can't just show up in I don't know, hospital scrubs.
Exactly. No, I mean this is like the whole outfit I'm wearing because I also have like white jeans and it's the closing ceremony outfit. So
Amazing.
there's like
So that
but yeah.
so the it'll be the jean jacket, white jeans, black t-shirt, closing. And what about the opening, Annie? What are we wearing for the opening ceremony?
I'm not sure. I saw photos on the Team Canada Instagram actually. They have like the three outfits. So I'm not sure which is which. But there's I think in the whole collection it's like 26 pieces. So it's like a bunch of different clothing pieces and yeah, I mean I like the one that I got.
I
I got
love it.
it and I was hyped on it.
I love it. I think it looks amazing. It's so cool. I'm so excited to see you. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. Um, let's start with just the fact that you are representing Canada at the Olympics in skateboarding. Um, just when you first found out that you had qualified, you had to be top 20 in the world. Is that correct, Annie? Is that how it worked?
I'm not qualified yet. We had
Oh,
yeah, we're supposed to have the whole qualifying process. Well, most of the qualifying process from February to May of 2020 before the Olympics. So, I mean, we had our 2019 season and I was hurt for most of it, but I still, like with the national championships of 2020, which we had time to have before quarantine, I'm like in a good spot to qualify in the top, to be in the top 20 for Tokyo, but it's like, it's not done yet. We still have the 2021 season now.
so how does it work now, Annie? Now that they've had to push it back, do you know when that next round of qualifying will be?
Not yet. We have a call with World Skate, which is our international skateboard federation, on Wednesday, and they're supposed to update us on that. From what I heard, it's probably going to be almost the same as if it would have been this year, but next year, so February till May. But instead, we were supposed to have like 9 competitions in 3 months.
Wow.
worldwide. So that was a lot, like especially because you have to. There's like quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and all of that. So it's like at least like 10-day trips. So if you like calculate that in like real quick,
Yeah.
like we're just gone for 3 months. Basically, we didn't come back
Right.
home.
Right.
And now instead of having like 9 competitions, we're gonna have I think 4 or 5, which makes a lot more sense. And it's also like a lot safer because you have time to rest.
Right. Which is important because you're an athlete, you
Which
have to rest. Right.
exactly.
So, for you, I read something that you said, and I thought it sounds so true because I skateboarded as a kid, and I loved skateboarding.
Really?
Oh, I was terrible, Annie. But but at the same time, I wondered when they added skateboarding as one of the 5 new sports for Tokyo. I wondered how is the skateboarding community going to accept this? And you said in an interview that at first, actually, it wasn't accepted so broadly. Is that correct?
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash from the skate community because it's like it's a subculture and it's like outside of the mainstream culture. Most like a lot of people who skateboard, they don't play hockey or like bigger sports. They skateboard, and that's part of their identity to try to be like different most of the time, at least. And so when it was announced that skateboarding would be in the Olympics, a lot of people were not happy with that because it just didn't make sense because like people don't even like most skateboarders didn't even want to consider skateboarding as a sport. And
Right.
that changed within the past 4 years, I'd say, because we saw a lot of positive come out of the inclusion of skateboarding in the Olympics, especially for women, for people like in countries where it wasn't even considered as a sport, like we didn't have federations and good skate parks. So now they're building a lot of good skate parks. Kids are getting more kids are getting into it. 3 times more women start skateboarding than men right now. So it's like it's all of this is positive for the skate industry, and so I think now people are realizing that it's not just about being different. It's like if you love skateboarding, you want to share it with as many people as possible, and the Olympics is a great platform for that.
Can you tell me how it will work at the Olympics, Annie? Will it be will we have skateboarders on half pipes? Will we have street style skateboarding? Will there be a bunch of different categories?
Yeah, there's a for 2021. There's a 2 disciplines. So it's street. So street is like a recreation of what you could find in the street, like obstacles, like staircases and handrails and stuff like that. And then there's park, which is like more like a if you think of a bowl and people
Right.
do air and stuff out of it. So it's not a half pipe. It's like more. It's always a different shape for street and park. So the best skateboarder has to adapt to whichever skate park they're skating for like every different competition. And there's men and women. So there's going to be four events in Tokyo.
That's you got it. How excited are you? This is pretty. This is going to be pretty
I'm
crazy.
excited. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited because also like I'm 29, which is I mean I'm not old, but for skateboarding, like to start a skateboard like professional skateboard career, it's old at 26. You know, like I've been sporting for 18 years, and it never was like I wanted to become a professional skateboarder when I was like 15 years old, and then I kind of like stopped thinking about it for 10 years, and then the Olympics happened, and I went to the first national championships because I've been skateboarding, but I haven't been competing. I was just doing it for fun. And I won the first national championships we had with Canada Skateboard. And that's when I was like, you know what? Like I just got out of my, I did a master's and I got out of school and I did this and it just worked out. So, I mean, for me, it's really exciting because it's like an opportunity that I never thought I'd have. So it's really cool.
And then the other side of it is you are an LGBTQ athlete, so you have this added pressure. Do you feel added pressure, almost like in terms of not only being a role model as a female skateboarder, but also on that side of the docket as an LGBTQ athlete? Do you feel a lot of pressure in both aspects of that?
I mean, no, I don't really feel pressure. The only pressure that I felt is when I came out. Because there's like this stereotype that all female skateboarders are gay, or so that's like before I came out, I was like scared to confirm that stereotype a little bit. But then like I realized like this is who I am, so I'm not gonna like pretend I'm not gay because I don't want to confirm a stereotype. Like I was like, for me, being authentic and being myself has always been important, and like I don't really care if people don't agree with that because it's who I am, and there's no other way for me.
And if you think of the sport, if you think of skateboarding, of all the sports where you are encouraged to be yourself, to be truly authentic and to yourself, skateboarding is probably the one that comes to the forefront, right?
I mean, I haven't played a lot of sport, but I feel like the skate community is really well. It's changing because for a long time we thought we were like cool and different, but like it was still very male dominated, like white male heterosexual like teenage boys for a very long time. And so it's not that different from most sports, like if you think about it. So but right now the skateboarding community is so much more inclusive, and to honestly like anyone, it's really cool, and I'm really like I've never been more proud to be a skateboarder than right now.
That's amazing. Now,
yeah.
How have you been during the pandemic lockdown? How are you just skating like crazy? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I am. Well, for like the past 3 years, I've been training a lot. Like it's the fact that skateboarding is going to the Olympic kind of changed my approach to skateboarding, because before I was just doing it for fun. Now I had to like learn tricks, but in a structured way, and like work on consistency in like a very structured way again. And I had a schedule for skating, so that was different for 3 years. And with the pandemic, at first I was really stressed because I thought the Olympics would still happen, and when it was postponed, I thought like I'll just take a little break and just like work, like just skate for fun and go back to the roots. Which, I mean, I've been skateboarding for fun even when I was training, but I really wanted to take a break. And actually I've been skating almost more. Like I've been skating like more than 40 hours a week for this summer. So and then I'll go back to training in the fall.
I was sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to ask you, is it like when you're approaching this and when you get to Tokyo, do you have any idea what the setup will be ahead of time, or is it sort of like you're just flying blind?
We don't know, and I think that's a really cool thing, because skateboarding is about creativity, and like especially I don't want to say especially street skateboarding, but like when you go street skateboarding, you in the street, you have to adapt to like the stairs, the handrails, like the obstacles are always different. So I think that people who thought about that for the Olympics, they didn't want skateboarding to become like gymnastics, which is like, I'm not saying like it's not a bad thing, obviously, but like they just wanted to keep that spontaneous, creative side of skateboarding. So we're gonna see the skate park like a week before the Olympics, I think.
Wow.
And it's that for all the Olympic qualifiers. Like we have 2 hours or like 3 hours almost of like practice before the first round of competition, and it's like you just gotta, I mean, you have a photo, you can still like, you have a photo a couple of weeks before, you can still like plan it, but it's never the same as like when you get there.
Yeah, actually doing it. And it's funny you bring up gymnastics, because you think, you're right, those are such amazing athletes, but they're essentially trying to do the same thing perfectly over and over and over. That's their goal, right? Whereas with you guys, it's more of a creative thing, more spontaneity on the spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it makes it really hard for judging. I'm sure, like it must be really hard, but they're getting really good also at judging it the most like objective as possible, like as objective as possible, because it could be really subjective, because like there's like a million possibilities in one skate park that you can do, and it's so the structure for like the competition is, for street you have 2 45-second runs, so you can go like for 45 seconds in the skate park, do as many tricks as you want, and they note you on like consistency, flow, style, like tricks you're doing, execution, and all that. There's like a bunch of criterias, and then you have 5 attempts for what we call best tricks. So basically you just go and you have 1 attempt, well, you have 5 attempts to do as many best tricks as you can, and they take your 4 best scores out of 7. So it's really like you still have a margin of error where you can kind of like have scores that you don't need. But it's still, it's, yeah, it's a lot of strategy. And that's also new to skateboarding, like the whole strategic way of approaching skateboarding. I like it.
Annie, you're explaining this so well. You should be, when you're done skateboarding, you should broadcast skateboarding for the CBC, right? All right, we'll talk to the CBC.
We'll talk
see what
to
happens.
CBC. All right.
We'll see what they say. Now, before I let you go, Tokyo, man. Now, have you been to Tokyo before to compete or just to be there?
I have actually. It's funny because I think it was in 2018. I was invited with 10 other athletes from other sports. So like athletes from fencing, diving, archery, like different world from skateboarding. Like I had no idea what to expect because it was my first Olympic experience, and we went to Tokyo to like experience Japanese culture and like see the training facilities that they have and stuff. And for me, like I was mind blown because I had like, for me, a training facility is just like a public skate park.
Right.
Especially 2 years ago. Now I'm like getting good at it, but 2 years ago it was different, and it was awesome. I think it was one of my favorite trips ever. I learned so much, and the Japanese culture really like stick with me. I really like it, and it's I've been meditating since I came back from Tokyo. I've been meditating every day.
Oh wow! Because you were like, did something have they inspired you? The culture inspired you? Yeah. That's so awesome. I love that. And now you're going, because that's got to be good. That's got to be a good feeling for you, knowing you're going to be competing there, and you already have this good feeling inside when you're there, and you like the culture. You go into that environment, you're going to feel good. You're gonna kick ass.
Yes.
Well, listen,
I'm sure that's
Annie,
how it's going to go down.
That's what I say. Annie, well, first of all, we got to mention the Team Canada collection, HBC. You can pick it up, and man, like, look how great Annie looks. Look at the jacket; it's so cool. Oh my gosh,
really cool.
It's just gonna be,
and
when you guys.
I think it's awesome that it's available to the public too. So because it's like something that people can share with the athletes, and 10% of the proceeds go to the safe return to sport for athletes, like with the coronavirus and stuff. So it's like, I think it's great that like, for example, if someone like shares this jacket with the athletes, and then we all like they're part of our adventure. So I think it's really cool.
That's right. Yeah, we're all part of a team in some way, right? We're all rooting for you. Annie, it's going to be a wild time. We're going to be following you the whole way. I hope it's okay if we stay in touch with you and see how you're doing as you're training and preparing for 2021. I'm hoping it happens in 2021. I want this to. It's going to be such a good Olympics. I'm so excited. I hope we're there with you. But we want to just thank you so much for joining us today, and wish you the best of luck. Yeah. Thanks again, and we will talk to you soon down the road. Thanks, Annie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.